Hello and welcome to the Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Today's show was recorded a few weeks ago during United Way Northern Shenandoah Valley's Day of Caring. It is a day when the entire community comes together to serve local nonprofits and residents across all 5 counties and the city of Winchester. This year was crazy successful with nearly 1,000 volunteers spreading out across the area to do service projects for nonprofits. As the board chair for United Way Northern Shenandoah Valley, I had the privilege of traveling around to many of the sites to talk with the volunteers and a few of the nonprofits about the impact of this massive volunteer effort. Here are their stories. We are standing at Edgehill Recovery Center on our Day of Caring tour of all of these amazing volunteers. And I'm standing here talking to someone while paintbrushes are being rolled all over the place. So tell me your name, where do you work, what do you do, and then let's talk a little bit about this project.
Yeah, so my name's Elizabeth. I'm my equity production supervisor at Navy Federal for mortgage lending department. And we're here at the Recovery Center today painting their meeting room, which is a huge part of their services here. They use it for meeting with the public and holding their counseling services and such. And we'll also be painting their outdoor as well to freshen up the outside, make it enjoyable.
Is this the first Day of Caring you've participated in?
It is my first Day of Caring, yes. So I've been with Navy Federal 5 years now, and it is a big sellout. It's very competitive to get into. So literally, I think we crashed the site like 3 times every time they would find new projects to open up. So this was the first one I won the lottery on.
Are you excited to be able to get to participate in it today?
Absolutely, and we were able to get in as a team. So this is my team that we're working with of processors. So it's awesome to be able to build our community while helping our community.
Thank you for the work that you're doing today and for taking a minute out of painting to talk to me.
Yeah, thank you.
So we have made our way now to Evans Home for Children. Amy Rice is standing here with me. She is their executive director. You've done the show a couple of times. We need you to get back on and talk about some of the things that you're doing here at Evans Home. But today, for Day of Caring, it is a sea of orange t-shirts. Amy, how excited are you?
Very excited, and I'm happy to see a sea of Janet Michael orange around here with all the United Way volunteers. But this is probably our favorite volunteer event of the year. I think Andy told us that we have the most volunteers here at the Evans Home of any of the nonprofit sites. And it's great because as much as we are a little nonprofit, we have 5 acres in the middle of Winchester that can be a lot to maintain and manage. So having all these volunteers from Navy Federal is just fantastic. And they get so much done in one day, we can't even believe it.
You are literally housing children here. So it is incredibly important to make sure that the lawn is maintained, that the rooms have been painted, that things are cleaned. And that's a lot to try and do on a day-to-day basis.
Yes, it is a safety and security issue to make sure that we are good with our licensing, that we are safe for the children to be here, that the families feel safe placing their children with us. That's really, really important to us. And I do have to give a shout out to my program director, Lamisha Allen, who really is the organizational person behind putting all of this together. She's also the person who manages our license for the facility, but she sets up all the volunteers, all the projects, and makes sure that this runs very smoothly every year.
I seem to recall last year you telling me that the projects that get done here during Day of Caring would probably take you a year to accomplish if you had to do them in piecemeal.
Oh, probably even more than that. This sets us up every year, so it's everything out, particularly the landscaping and such outside, gets it so everything's cleaned up before the winter moves in, before we come into spring next year, and just sets us up for the year. I'm not even sure in a year, if we just used the small staff that we had to try and get this done, it would just never get done. It's too much. So this is it's amazing.
Can you take volunteers at other points throughout the year? I know you can take donations every day of the year, but if somebody wants to put together a team and come out and say, hey, do you need some help with something, can you do that?
Absolutely, and we have different groups, we have churches, we have different companies around the area who will reach out to us and say, hey, I've got 3 people, 5 people, 20 people, and we will put together a project, and that can be either doing these kinds of tasks around the house. Sometimes they gather items for us, gather donations of physical things that we may need. So absolutely, if people reach out to us, we will find a project for a group to do.
Where can they find you online?
TheEvansHome.org is our website. You can also reach out directly to me at amy.rice@evanshome.org. RICE is the last name. Or just give us a call, 540-662-8520. We are happy to put together projects. We love to have groups come in. We've had youth groups come. We've had young people. Anybody who's willing to do a project, we are happy to have you.
Thank you for taking the time today.
Thank you very much for being here.
Next up, we headed to Fremont Street Nursery. They are the oldest licensed child care center in the city of Winchester. Led by Executive Director Frida Roberson, here's what she had to say about the impact of Day of Caring.
What I love the most about the Day of Caring, it's one of my favorite days. And the reason why is because to see the amazing, hardworking volunteers come out, and it not only helps Fremont, but it also betters our community. So it's one of my favorite days. It really is.
Where are you ladies from?
Navy Federal.
We are seeing Navy Federal all over the place. They are everywhere. Is this the first time you volunteered for Day of Caring?
No, I've done it before.
So tell me your name and how many years have you been doing this?
Sierra is my name. This is my third year. Last year we were at Bright Futures. We did the school supplies for the kids at school. It's amazing. I love it.
I learned from one of our other stops that this is a highly competitive thing to be able to get to do for Navy Federal, and that you really have to want it badly and get in and sign up and all of those sort of
No
things.
waiting. No
Is
waiting.
it worth it to go through that to get to do this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love the giving of part of it. I love the helping part of it.
They painted our playhouse, they have washed windows, they have given dental exams to 60 children this morning. So we're excited about that, as well as Navy Federal. Navy Federal has cleaned windows as well. They're packing up a classroom that will be demolished because we will be expanding. Yes. Breaking ground next month. So they're packed up a classroom. They are revamping our front. They're planting flowers, they're mulching the playground. It's been amazing. It's
And
been
Tommy
amazing.
Dental has been coming here
Over
for
a decade.
lot of years
Over
doing
a
these
decade.
dental exams.
Yes. It's making the parents aware at an early age to prevent future issues.
Oh, yeah.
Today, out of the 60 children, only 2 had a cavity.
Wow.
Yeah. So we will give a referral, because it just doesn't stop here. So we will give a referral, and then they will go see it then, and then we'll work out an agreement with those parents to ensure that they have a healthy mouth.
That is so awesome. So we are standing downtown on the Old Town Walking Mall in our tour of Day of Caring projects today. Andy Gale, CEO, United Way, is still here. Dr. Jeff Feit is Vice President of the board for United Way, still here. Now, we're talking to Brady Cloven, standing down here with us, Executive Director of the Friends of Old Town, and Jason Craig. You're part of the Valley Health team.
Yes.
Valley Health has a bunch of people that are out all across the community doing all kinds of cool, fun projects today.
That's correct. We got the opportunity to work down here in Old Town to really kind of give some feedback from a, I want to say tourist perspective, on what we feel like are improvements that we could do throughout the walking mall and the Old Town area. It was pretty cool. Learned some things that I didn't know. I got to hear some of the ideas that were on the table and give some feedback from our perspective, which I think was a great project.
And Brady, that's the cool thing about Day of Caring, in my opinion, is that it's not all going to what we would consider a traditional nonprofit and doing some landscaping or painting a wall. You are a nonprofit here in Old Town Winchester. So this is great for you to be able to help spread the word and get people educated on all the things that you do down here.
I mean, it's been great. I did feel a little worried when I didn't have a dumpster to clean out or anything like that. I felt a little left out.
I'm thankful. I did not have that.
You all have a nice list. But no, we thought it'd be really fun to have a group come down and, like you said, from a tourist perspective, but Jason's team went and walked just as a resident, as somebody who comes to Old Town, whether it's every day, whether it's once a week or once a month for work, but to look at the buildings and say, hey, what would I change on this facade? Could a mural go here? What is great for the pedestrian experience here? And at the same time, talking about alleyway activation, perception of safety, looking at the differences of the north end of the mall versus the south end of the mall, all the things we always talk about. But it was great to have a group here that had tons of feedback. Jason had 2 clipboards worth of information that he was like, I think this building
Jason
needs
at
to
a
go.
loss for words?
Yeah,
That has
right.
never happened.
But it was really great, and I'm really glad that we could be part of Day of Caring, because I think that is how you also show up for Old Town, and that's how you care.
What'd you learn today?
I learned about some future initiatives that I think are pretty cool that will make your Old Town experience, I would say, better. Some things that we talked about are just ways that we can work together to promote overall community health within that Old Town area, which I think is pretty cool, as we're looking at ways to find out how to give people access to more as it relates to physical activity or access to fresh fruits through potentially farmers market, all those kind of cool ideas that we were able to throw against the wall.
Having a thriving downtown area that is accessible to everybody falls squarely in your bucket of community health, because you can walk down here, you can do all of these activities that I guess people would call exercise. I don't call it exercise because nobody wants to think that I'm doing that. But
it's just like drinking coffee is like drinking water, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
My
walking
friend.
the mall is definitely physical activity, and so we appreciate it being here for our community and access to different experiences experiences, I think, is something that we had a great conversation about and trying to figure out how we can make it appropriate for our adults, for our younger community members, and those that are aging as well.
And you had a lot of different volunteers that are part of this today from Valley Health. Some of you were here, some of you were at Bright Futures. You guys spread out and went all throughout the community.
Yeah, we have some in the Valley, we have some down in Front Royal, down in Page, as well as a couple sites here in Winchester. So thankful for Andy to give us time of your show and allow us to talk about some of the things that we were able to do in the community.
Tell me your name, the company you work for, and what project you did for Day of Caring today.
So John Sands with Warfel Construction, and we helped Winchester House and some of the residents there do some basic cleaning tasks.
Was this the first year you've participated in Day of Caring?
First year for me, but our company's been doing it for several years.
How about you? Tell me your name and what you did today.
Billy Della Cruz. I'm a project engineer for Warfel Construction, and I helped some residents at the Winchester House today.
How cool is it to see the looks on their faces
That was great.
for the before and the after, and just when they knew you were there to be able to help them do things they just couldn't get to themselves?
That was great, and hearing their backstory, and one of the ladies who worked it, she was an interior designer back in the day and relates to what we do every day, so it was great to catch up with them and learn their story too.
Will you do it again next year?
Absolutely.
I will as well.
We have found our way back to the Our Health campus, and there is a flurry of activity going on here. We're in the Stutzman boardroom. Tell me your name, what organization you work for, and what it is you're doing for Day of Caring today.
Yes, hi, my name is Shalini Mikos, and I am with Edward Jones. A lot of these ladies are in offices in Stephen City, Winchester. We're financial advisors, we're branch office administrators, and we are doing a project for the Alzheimer's Association. The Winchester walked into Alzheimer's.
You're doing thank you notes, which I think is amazing.
Yes, we're doing thank you cards for our volunteers and participants of the Walk to End Alzheimer's. And we are also just calling the people that have already registered for the walk. So if you get a phone call, it's us, real people calling you to say thank you for showing up.
This is such a valuable thing to be able to give your time to volunteer for, because it's the one thing that a lot of nonprofits struggle with, having the time and the volunteers individually to do. The fact that you can come in and dedicate your time to do this, I think is fantastic. How has it been received?
Really great. Because I've been doing the calls along with Shauna over there, and we're actually hearing stories of families that have been impacted by Alzheimer's. So it's been nice. We're leaving a lot of voicemails and then thank you cards. I just know that this is going to brighten up people's day to have it handwritten.
Thank you for your time today and for letting us crash your signing party and talk for a little bit.
Thanks.
Tell me who you are and what you do.
I'm Jody Young. I am the Executive Director of Healthy Families Northern Shenandoah Valley.
We're standing here today as part of Day of Caring, and I'm looking at a sea of baskets that have diapers and wipes and all of these things. Why are they here and what's happening?
So these are our new baby baskets. We use them for when our home visitors go out to the home for the very first time. They're setting up the program with mom, baby, and significant other or dad. And so we have a little gift for them to say congratulations, welcome to the world. We also use them when we're doing assessments to determine if they meet our criteria, just as a kind of a, hey, don't forget us. If you're interested, here's our information, here's a little gift for you, that kind of thing. So hopefully to draw them in, even if they're not quite ready when we first talk to them.
Many of the families that you are working with may be struggling to pay for diapers, to get some of the resources that they need. So this is a really great low barrier entry point for them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And not just the baskets, because these are new baby baskets, but we have diapers all the way up through size 5, and we have the pull-ups. So not just our families, but people in the community can stop by if they're in need of diapers or wipes or something else that we could possibly provide them.
The items that are in these baskets today were the ones that were dropped off at various First Bank locations, Marlowe, at their 3 dealerships. Correct. You could drop them off. How long would it take you normally to collect these items and then to get all of these baskets put together without having something like Day of Caring to do it?
Considering that our staff don't work here, they're working in the community doing home visits, they would have to give up time to do those home visits to actually come in here and to be here for a couple hours. This team, I think there was maybe 6 of them. They had it knocked out in probably about 2 hours.
That is fantastic.
Yeah. And as far as collecting the items, yeah, if it was just us collecting, then again, we're taking time away from the families by driving and picking things up and loading them into cars, that kind of thing. So it was huge.
How many do you estimate are done here?
We had one person count 55, one count 57, so we settled on 56.
I think that's a very good thing.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate you taking the
no
time.
problem. Thank you.
Well, that's it for us today, but that's not it if you want to be involved. Day of Caring isn't just for individuals and businesses who donate money. Day of Caring is for anyone who wants to be engaged in their community. If you want to participate next year or even find something good to do for a nonprofit next week, reach out to Andy Gale, CEO of United Way Northern Shenandoah Valley, and tell him that you want to get involved. That old saying that it takes a village to raise a child also rings true when you're talking about strengthening our communities. We all have something to give. For some, it's money. For others, it's time and skills. And for all of us, it's being willing to listen to the struggles that someone is having, be a little more understanding, and be a little more open-minded. Having access to resources is the key to making our community a stronger, safer place to live. United is the way to spark change. So check out unitedwaynsv.org and learn what you can do to be part of the solution. You can also just reach out to me. My email address is janet@theriver953.com. You can send me an email. My cell number is pretty easy to find, though I am not going to say it on the radio. Or you can come find me at the Native Plant Festival at Jim Barnett Park tomorrow. Jordan gave us the details for that on Monday's show. Also happening tomorrow is the Frederick County Homesteaders Fall Farm Crawl. It is going on all day on Saturday. You can get details about that from the show on Tuesday. However you decide to spend your weekend, though, enjoy the weather, and I will meet you back here on Monday with a brand new episode of The Valley Today, just a few minutes after noon.